Hey everyone, my name is Nikki, welcome to my channel. So this video is my October bullet journal spread, something that is very well anticipated and I've looked forward to making for such a long time. This month's theme is going to be leaves and pumpkins. I ran a poll on my September bullet journal and you guys voted for leaves and pumpkins as the most favourite, so I put everything together and designed this spread for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. To begin, I wrote October in 2018 with my Tombow dual brush tip pen. I unfortunately haven't got the hang of using the brush tip with calligraphy. I'm still practicing, so I use some faux calligraphy here. And then I also decided to decorate the front title page with some branches filled with autumnal leaves and little acorns. I wanted to go for something very simplistic, and to add colour, I'm using these highlighters from Java Pen, and they're the Powerline 2500. I also decided to switch up my monthly spread a little bit, so I'm starting off by writing the title of October, and to make the faux calligraphy I'm just writing everything in cursive lettering and then thickening the downstrokes to mimic how a brush tip pen would normally write. Of course, I'm practicing. Hopefully the next time I'm doing some calligraphy it is with the brush tip pen. Anyway, as you can see here, I've basically made this really shrunken down tiny little calendar, and it has the whole of October as a glance. I've also got a little goals section because I thought that in my September bullet journal spread it worked very nicely. However, I felt that I really needed to write down what I was looking forward to working on or something that I'm planning on doing so I can economize my time more, and as every day passes, I'm not aimlessly wandering into the future and I have something to work towards constantly. For small lettering, I'm using this other pen by Java Pen. This is a gel pen in 0.4. I'm using that to write the Monday, Tuesday, Monday to Sunday dates, and then all of the days of the week. As you can see that I am doing here, I made a tiny little mistake. I added 2 lines instead of just one in between these. Just a tiny little mistake. Please do ignore that. I really love the pen. It's so easy to write with and very nice. Anyway, to add the decoration, I'm drawing some pretty little autumnal leaves. These are oak leaves, and I'm using my uni pin fine liners. For the decoration, like the leaves, I'm mainly using a 0.1mm pen. I do list all of the items that I use in the description below and show them at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. And I'm using my Java pen to write the next section, which is something new that I'm trying out. I'm basically writing out the days of the week with the date. So Monday to Sunday, and then 0 to 31, as you can see here. And then I'll be drawing a line at the end of each week, just to separate each week into chunks. I like to do this, it helps me visualize the month a lot better. And just for extra decoration, I'm drawing a pumpkin. Anyway, the whole idea behind this spread is that I can have one line where I can write down any key dates or key information, because I found in my previous large calendar spread I wasn't really using it that much, and I think this minimal space idea will help me fill up the page more. I honestly love drawing and doodling these pumpkins and leaves. It's so therapeutic. I adore the design. Anyway, I added this large pumpkin in the center and a ton of different types of leaves, little mushrooms, and different plants and twigs. I wanted to make this very, very autumnal, sort of Halloweenish, so I added a lot of nature. When I think of autumn, I think loads of orange, deep reds, bright, vibrant, warm tones, and leaves falling from the trees. So of course I decided to portray that here, and I'm adding details with my small Unipin fine liner, and I'm also adding in colour with the Java Pen Powerline 2500 pens. For the main orangey colour, I'm using mild red. This yellow here is called mild gold, and I'm sort of blending the colours in together, and then I'll also use a little bit of mild wine. Honestly, the colour range is so good, and they work brilliantly as both highlighters and colouring utensils, and this colour I'm using is called mild orange. So I use them a lot and will be using them in future bullet journal spreads, but also how I take note videos so you can see how you can use them when you're creating revision notes. I'm also using mild grey here, just to add a little bit of depth and texture, small amount of shadow to really make the image pop. Anyway, I'm using mild red here again, just to colour in these oak leaves, and mild wine to add a bit more of a rosy red tone. Next, to highlight the Monday to Sunday, I'm using my Stabilo pastel highlighter and doing that for this side of the spread as well, because I wanted a bit more of a light pastel tone. Unfortunately, the pen did bleed, which is quite sad. However, nothing is perfect. However, I still love the spread no matter what. Moving on, we have the tracker, and I'm using the same sort of layout as I did last month, however with a few tiny adjustments. I'm writing tracker here in the faux calligraphy in the top left corner, and I basically track my mood and my sleep. I do it in the form of a line graph, as I feel this helps me visualize and see everything, see correlations between am I more happy when I have more sleep. I just really like this organized, sharp, crisp layout, and of course I added a lot of doodles of these different oak leaves, little acorns, nice autumnal little things. I used a stippling technique to add some texture to the acorns and just some veins on the leaves. Next, I'm writing sleep with 10 hours to 4 hours in minus, and then a mood. I also wrote every single day, and you see these little calendars at the side. They're tracking exercise, when I go out, and when I clean the house. What I'm doing right now, I'm drawing a fox, and this is the most exciting part of the page. I really like foxes, and I've always wanted to have one in the corner of my October spread. So this is the final design that I came up with. It's quite difficult to draw, but honestly it turned out so well. I'm very, very pleased. I started by sketching out the outline and then adding some shading in certain areas and just emphasizing the structure, obviously. Now I'm using my Java pen highlighters to add a little bit more color. So I'm not going full on because I didn't want it to be too overpowering, so I'm adding the orange in certain areas where the color would be darker or where there's a bit of fur ruffling, and I also decided to use some mild grey just to add a little bit of darkness and depth there too. I love this spread so much. Now, these spreads aren't the most exciting, however they are necessary and practical. I've got this homework spread and expenses spread. They're more or less exactly the same, and I've used this homework tracking system ever since I was in year 11 doing my GCSEs. I have a space for the due date, a little description of what the homework is, and a progress bar. Before I used to do it like a pie chart, but now I do it in a section of 4 bars. Anyway, that's simple, basic, and we're moving on to my YouTube tracker now. I'm doing my best to fit in a lot of things on this small page. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm making an ideas page, also an upload schedule, a what I need, and then a growth tracker. So for the ideas, what I like to do every month, I like to have a little brainstorm of video ideas I'm planning to upload and create. But also sometimes you might just have a burst of inspiration. So that's a nice place to jot down any ideas. What I need, for example, if I'm filming a DIY, I'll need to list things that I need to make that DIY. And the upload schedule, so I can keep track on what videos I need to create, what videos are going to go up. And of course a growth tracker, so I can see what are my best months or what are my worst months. Anyway, I decided to decorate the page with some leaves and mushrooms, very cute little things. And this next spread is just a little reminder to, even though you've got so much stuff to do, a lot of work, keep on doing what you love. So I've got a section for books, music, and film. This first section is supposed to be a little book review section. It will encourage me to read 1 book per month, and it's also got a space for books I'd like to read, music I'm currently listening to, films I've watched, so I can write a little bit, remember everything, and that's all cute. The book I'm reading this month is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Comment down below what book you're reading, and if you have any recommendations. I basically filled up that page with so many little doodles of leaves and tiny plants. So this is my main feature page, and it's the first sort of page I've done like this before. It's purely just a space full of doodle, and I decided to focus on pumpkins because one of my favorite activities to do when it's Halloween time is to carve pumpkins. I really love to go downtown and get creative. So I decided to create 3 different types, completely different shapes and sizes. I'll also experiment with color more. I drew a very nice circle around it and then drew some acorns, little plants here and there, and a couple of leaves. Then I'll I'll be colouring them in a minute. So I'm using my uni pen fine liner just to do some line work and add extra detail to the pumpkins, the acorns, and the foliage around here. This page was just a splurge of creativity. I drew what I felt was right, and honestly, so much fun just to freehand draw and plan out little ideas here and there. Anyway, please do check the polls on this video because I will be asking you guys some questions, asking you guys what kind of bullet journal spreads you'd be interested in seeing. Right now I'm doing my day by day piece, so I've got a mini calendar here because this is kind of going into the journal section of my bullet journal, where I have a little day by day section where I will write a tiny little entry or diary snippet of the day so I can look back at it in the past but also take the time out of my day to relax and have fun. Moving on, I'm adding colour to the pumpkins, and I decided to experiment with colour, depth, and really let loose here. So the elongated pumpkin, I decided to make a lighter colour. The front, smaller round pumpkin, I decided to add all 3 different colours, and the one at the back I decided to make darker. I think it was very fun to experiment with depth, see what kind of things I can create, and really let loose and try and see how different things can look, however just using the same 3 colours over and over again. So in the furthest back I used mild red and mild wine. This one I'm working on now I used a mixture of all 3, mild wine, mild red and mild gold, and then the front sort of middle ground elongated I used mild gold and mild red. I love them so much, and I added shade with mild grey. These colours are incredible and I use them so often. Anyway, I do apologize, I'm still recovering from a cold. My nose is blocked. If I'm sniffing a lot, that's what that is. For extra detail, I added a little bit of grey and a couple touches of green. Just add some more colour, make sure it wasn't as bland as it might have been looking. Honestly, this is such an amazing spread. I'm incredibly happy with how it turned out. And now we're going to move on to the journal section. This is almost exactly the same as the previous month. What I'm doing, I'm writing the day of the week, and then in a tiny circle underneath, I'm writing the number. So if it's the first or the second. It's a very simplistic thing. I will be switching this up in the future, but this is what is working for me best at the minute. It allows me a little space where I can free write about my day. I love doing this so much. It allows me to take time out, log any interesting memories, and it's so fun to, at the end of the month or the end of the week, just read back and relive all of those sort of things that have happened. Anyway, I'm adding a couple final touches, and here is my finished bullet journal. And if you do have any ideas or any advice, please do leave them in the comments down below. I really love to hear your opinions, your thoughts. Do make sure to vote on the polls in this video so I know what kind of things you guys would like to see in the future. So first of all, we have the month as a whole spread. Moving on from that, we have my tracker where I track sleep, mood, exercise, cleaning, and when I go out. After that, we have my homework and expenses tracker. Then we have the YouTube and the fun page with books, music, and film. And then we have my day-by-day journal section. So for this spread, I use a Tombow dual tip brush pen, uni pen fine liners in 0.8, 0.1. I also use this 0.4mm gel pen from Java Pen. Also the Powerline 2500 highlighters. I'm very grateful for them sending me over this package, and I will be doing a video soon on my channel in depth about these items that they sent me. If you're interested, you can subscribe and hit the bell to receive notifications to when I post a new video. All details of the items I've used will be in the description of this video. Not to forget, I also use the Stabilo Boss Orange Pastel Highlighter my Helix ruler, and also the Maped rubber. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you had a brilliant day and enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications, and I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.